One. Here we
Bring
are.
back the music, Justin.
Oh, okay. All right.
You said
we were having a lot of
4:03.
fun. Yeah.
We were just having
everybody,
a party.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Welcome to the Crow's Nest. We got me, Jason, but most importantly, we had Gene. Jason, read out Gene's tagline for today, please.
Well, I referred to Gene as International Man of Mystery and Mouselings.
Yeah.
Because I do my show
what it's all
prep.
about today.
You know, our producer Justin actually sends me a list of things about each guest, and so I research it a little bit. So I have a number of things I want to ask Gene about. You know, he was a bullfighter in Juarez apparently, and I was going to ask him what it's like to stand across an arena from a charging bull.
That's good. That's good. That's a little known secret.
I don't think anybody understood it.
International man of mystery. Where do you think it comes from?
Yeah, you were a matador, right? Not a toreador. You were an actual full-fledged matador.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, that's amazing. It's all this stuff you learn about people. They say sculptors aren't well-rounded.
Hey, I'm showing off something today. This is kind of why I was late. I had to find it. I got a shirt.
I like
That's
that.
awesome.
That looks really nice on there.
Looks great.
With the softball sleeves. Yeah.
Official Crow's Nest. I got this off T Public. So if you guys are interested,
so there's a Crow's Nest store in T Public?
Yes.
Yeah,
there is. Yeah.
And what's on there?
Everything. There's the Crow's Nest logo, the Get On and Get Under the Bus logo, the various Crow's Nest logos that Gene did. There's this one. There's one with just, and I got a shirt, and I'll show it off maybe next week, that is just this part. And it's without the Crow's Nest. It's just the actual logo
your
itself.
Tattoo, right? Your tattoo is out.
Yeah, that's in the center of my back. I don't want to take my shirt off right now.
No, the one on your thigh.
Oh, no, that's a scar from my mountain bike.
Oh, that's
accident.
a scar.
Okay, that's the scar.
How are you feeling, by the way?
Rib injury. Oh my God, I'm better. Except when I twist or try to forget and I lift something with this left side, I still have a big ass bruise and everything down there. I'm sure I broke multiple ribs. I mean, I can't believe it. No, I don't think I broke anything at all. It's just I'm a wimp and too old to heal up appropriately. So, all right, that's enough about me. Gene, what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for jumping on the show.
Man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
March, right?
I know.
Right? It's snowing again, and it's March, and it's never stopped.
Is it snowing?
It's snowing up here right now.
Here.
I didn't know whether you were getting snow down in Denver. Gene and I live we live maybe 10, 15 minutes apart. Yep. Last time we saw each other in person was
down in the plains.
But we haven't seen each other since January, February.
Last October
time frame. Yeah, maybe last
City
October
mouse,
even.
mouse type
last
deal.
October.
Because of Brita.
Yeah, Brita blew out her back, and then COVID, and we're here now.
All right. Well, today,
let's get on to happier things.
Yeah, and today, in honor of Gene's being a part of the show, we are having a special giveaway that's themed around Gene. Justin, you ready to throw up a pick?
I am. Can you hear me?
Throw it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We'll be giving away 10 sets of the Reaper Mousselines Christmas edition, Santa and the Helper.
And they're all going to be painted just like that.
Yeah, they come Rhonda will pre-paint each set and send them to you. Now, you may not get them for another 10, 20 years, but yeah, you'll get them in the mail unpainted, and then you have to send them to Rhonda, and then she will work on them.
You'll have to convince her next time you see her to paint them for you.
There's the first appearance of the bus with Rhonda.
There's the bus. So. I'm driving. Yeah. Sorry, Rhonda.
So everybody get your hashtag free in there.
So hashtag, is that what it is?
Yes,
why not? What do you want to be?
It is hashtag free.
Okay. Hashtag
what do you want to be? You want us to say hashtag crow?
No.
I think they're all conditioned to hashtag free.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's why you want to always be challenging their brains and throwing things different in there. Bryce is on. I saw Twistoma. I saw Bob and Julie. I saw Rhonda, of course, because we just were throwing her on the bus. So Max Styles is on as well. So thank you, everybody, for attending or watching or pretending to or hear.
Has Bryce's agent ever returned your calls about him being on the show?
No, he hasn't. I would like for him to be on the show. I also, I don't know if Greg Zuniga is on
International Man of Forearms.
Yes, if Bryce would not Bryce. Yeah, Bryce would like to be on the show. Bryce, reach out to me. I will reach out to you, but we'll figure something out soon. And then Greg Zuniga, happy birthday. Greg Zuniga's birthday's today.
Happy birthday, Greg.
Happy birthday,
Wicked
Greg.
Elf.
Yeah. So if he is on, he's there. So happy birthday, Greg. Thanks for on your day of days, the day of your birth, the anniversary of your birth, for you to take time out for the show is an honor. So thank you.
It means a lot to us.
Yeah. So you know what, Justin? Are you there?
I'm here.
What if we, since it's Greg's birthday, if we gave him the 11th set of mouselings?
We could do that, absolutely.
Let's do that.
All right, Greg. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Greg. You get some mouselings. I'm sure you probably already have them, but there you go. And here's more mouselings. All right, so
that's impressive,
today,
and I'm not sure we can continue, but that was very generous of you to give something out of your own personal stash like that.
Yeah. So today we're going to be working on the Big Fish Dude from the Bones 5 Kickstarter. So we're doing this vMix call thing again. This is our new format that we're trying to work out. The focus from me doing it on the camera through OBS and shooting it over to vMix, it's totally focused on OBS, and it loses it in the vMix translation. Justin was trying to explain it to us in all his technical jargon, but that's what the gist that I got from it, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty good on my iPad.
Yeah, just try not to look too closely.
It looks good.
All right. Well, I know there were some complaints.
It's your Technoligarch masters telling you can't have high res. That's all.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know. So we're gonna be working on that today.
I don't think Jackson's even in chat right now.
No, I doubt it. He's probably hanging out with his granddaughter.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, and Greg Zuniga is a big fan of your sculpting, Gene.
Well, thank you, Greg.
Yeah. All right, so go for it, Jason.
Well, I wanted to ask Gene about, if you think back to when you were Arcade Kid number 3 in The Last Starfighter, I was wondering what that was like for you.
Oh,
that was
wrong
too,
man.
Oh, okay.
It was a blast.
All right. I think Justin gave me the wrong notes. Maybe these are Hawkins' notes.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Jason.
All right.
But
seriously,
you weren't
playing Defender or Robotron?
You weren't the human tambourine in the Jim Rose Circus sideshow?
No, missed that one.
Gosh. All right. I'm sorry, Gene.
Notes. Definitely
I have to really apologize. You weren't a roadie for Lagwagon. All this stuff that I had written down is just you tried to be a roadie for Lagwagon. Okay,
I tried. I applied, and they didn't let me do it. They said I was too big of an insurance risk.
So, what did you do before you started sculpting, or before you decided to become a professional sculptor?
Pre-artist. I was a.
I know you probably made more money.
Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah. Mostly, I was in the restaurant industry for the vast majority of my young adult life. I worked in various bars and restaurants, managed, bartended, waited tables, all that stuff.
Would you like an apple pie with that or anything?
Yeah, no, not quite.
No, okay.
A little more upscale.
A little more upscale. But I did that for many, many years. And then I found a really weird opportunity to get into computers, which I really liked, via the restaurant industry. So I started doing computers for restaurants, selling point-of-sale systems, programming them and support and whatever. And then I got deeper into the computer side of things. And I did that for about a decade. So that's where my computer knowledge came from. And then from there, I got burned out with computers. I got tired of working with them and decided, well, I'm going to try to be an artist. and that's how I embarked on this crazy career I'm on now. So,
Did you have any art training
yeah,
prior? Or you just
I was very interested in art as a kid, and I was taking art lessons and art classes growing up on my entire life. I started doing figure drawing when I was 13, I think, figure drawing classes, um, and just took as much art as I could throughout high school and then into college. I got my degree in graphic design, and then I learned how to airbrush, and then decided, well, maybe I don't want to do this. And that's when I jumped into restaurants. So, but I always had a passion for art. I always loved it. And when I left the computer industry, I thought, I'm going to go back to art because I really enjoyed it, and that's why I wanted to pursue it, because I really liked it. So,
well, I think your graphics art background is on display. Maybe a lot of people didn't know this, but you did a lot of the graphics around the last Bones 5 Kickstarter. You've designed a lot of stuff uh, around various places around Reaper Weekend. Petey the Dragon was one of yours, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Petey
that's a
Petey
wonderful
that was
mascot.
one where Ron called me and said, "I need this dragon in 2 hours." I said, "Okay." So I sketched out a quick dragon for him. He's like, "Great, I love it," and that was it. Uh,
So an hour and 45 minutes, you just probably just sat around, watched TV, and then the last 15
yeah,
minutes.
yeah, pretty
Yeah, if
much.
your
Yeah,
experience is anything like mine, yeah.
yeah. Most of the
Well, you
time, I'm
you,
not
you
that
really,
lucky though. They take a lot longer than that usually.
yeah. Well, you do some wonderful work. I
Oh, thank you.
recently saw a set of things you've done, uh, which we don't have approval to show yet, but when
Hmm.
they come out, I think people are going to be really happy with them. That
Yeah,
some
Yeah.
work for
you could
Virtual
you could
Expo.
flash it real quick, and I don't
I
know,
don't have any
whatever.
way to flash it, so I don't want to get anybody into trouble. But
Yeah,
let's
you don't
suffice
want
it
to
to
get
say
don't
it's
want to
some
get don't want to get
really
canceled.
good iconography contained in that set. I think people are going to be very
Oh,
happy.
thanks.
Now, see if
It's kind of
anybody's going
fun.
to flash it. I assume it's going to be Michael.
Oh, there he
But
goes.
oh yeah,
We
look
show
at
him at
that.
least it. Yeah, show him the black and white.
Oh, black and white.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
you're on the
it's
little
hard to read the
thumbnail
color.
cam.
Yeah.
Slide it under your dock cam.
No, I'm not getting in trouble. They're not approved
Oh
yet.
well, we can't see that.
Well, it's a tease. It's a
I'll take my
tease.
word for it. It's
Okay.
pretty nice stuff. Pretty nice stuff. So when you're designing, oh, there we go. Look at that. Okay, very nice.
Somebody can clip
Might be a
that or
preview.
whatever.
Might be
Might be
irrelevant
not.
by the time we
Yeah.
get to it. But some really nice stuff. So
Thank you.
I know also that when you're left to your own devices to design a figure, you do a lot of drawing generally beforehand. I've
Yes.
seen some of the drawings for the mouselings. I remember the pirate mouselings just a little while ago. I thought were really neat. I like
Mhm.
the long skinny mouse with, I believe he had a pirate chest.
Mm-hmm. The
Do you
skinny
remember the
mouse has
5?
a saber and a pistol.
Oh, saber. Okay, yeah. The other guy had the
Yeah.
pirate chest.
The
That
the
was a
big
good group.
burly guy has the. Thank you. Yeah, the mouselings have evolved over the years. They continue to evolve a little bit. Um, we with that pirate group, Ron really wanted to bring in some different body sizes and different body types, I guess, but keep them
Mhm.
small and cute at the same time. That was the original intent behind those fun size mouselings, the bigger ones.
Mhm.
But we just did the 4 for the Kickstarter, and Just didn't
Those
have
are
time
such
to
a great
really.
size.
Thank
The
you.
four
Yeah,
that are in the
I mean,
Kickstarter.
they're cool. They are really
Yeah,
Yeah, the
cool.
big
if
ones
you
are
But
guys
I
neat.
if
don't
you haven't
know.
put that in your pledge, throw those in there because that size. I mean, if any time I can get Ron to listen, I would love to see more in that size. Just
Yeah.
because we're all getting older and it's easier to paint the bigger ones. You get a lot more stuff on the bigger size than the little ones. The little
Right.
ones are great. I
Yeah.
love them,
You could
but I really
airbrush those, right?
yeah,
Well, I know
vex them up.
Vex them.
one of the things that we struggle with as artists is with those bigger mouselings is they're so cute and round that when you make them that big, they're also very heavy. So
Yeah.
sometimes the manufacturing the materials cost, you have to balance that out because a 35 millimeter tall mouseling is 4 times the volume of a 35 millimeter tall human figure. So
Mhm.
we always have to kind of contend with that. By the same token, the chibis, you've been doing a lot of chibis lately.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Do you enjoy those, or are those a chore?
um, no, the chibis are fun. The mouselings are fun too. I enjoy doing the cartoony side of things. Unfortunately, you do some that you like, and then all of a sudden you're pigeonholed. You know how that goes.
I do. I do.
So, but that being said, I still enjoy doing it. I wish we could find something to some sort of setting or placement for the mouselings and for the chibis, and because otherwise, I mean, yeah, people can use them for their own, their own homebrew games or whatever. But I would like I would like the extra added inspiration of having it in a setting, kind of like your fish guy there in Brinewind. I mean, that is a that is a perfect setting for something like that. You can just go on forever in that setting with the pirates and everything. That's just so cool. So
Yeah. Well,
anyway, that
I proposed a whole set of them for Ron, but he didn't go for it. He just wanted the one guy. Because I was thinking a whole bunch of 75 millimeter tall fishmen. Who doesn't want that? Who wouldn't want
Oh my
and
God, that's awesome.
Christmas fishmen? The whole thing. But
sure
Mhm.
nope, didn't work. Didn't catch fire.
didn't work. He
Didn't stick.
didn't like that one, huh?
No, huh? Nope,
All
nope,
those
didn't
missed
work.
Well,
opportunities.
sometimes with Ron, it's one of those things where he has to see it. If you do
True.
it and you say, "Hey, Ron, here are all your fishmen," he'd go, "Oh, those are awesome. I love them, Jason."
Yeah, he might. Or he might say no, and then I've just got a whole bunch of fishmen.
And then you got a whole bunch of fishmen.
Yep, yep. You got to kickstart them under a different name somewhere out of Eastern Europe. So
That's funny.
All right. Well, I always ask Gene for movie and show watching because Gene's on the Netflix, on the Prime all the time. And you're the one that turned me on to The Boys to begin with when it first came out. You had watched it really quickly. We just finished the second season. So the first season was very graphic and very dark. And so let's say they took it to about 8 on the very graphic and very dark scale. Season 2, they just blew past 10 and went straight to 20 on that level. It was crazy good. I liked it. But there was a couple of times we were watching it, Michelle and I were watching it together, and it was like, man, did they really go that far? That one, I'm not going to ruin it. Spoiler alert on any stuff, but that was really good.
I've been waiting. They've gotten all the episodes? Because I know they were releasing them on Fridays, and I want to just watch them. Bing, bing, bing. I didn't want to wait in between. Okay, cool. I'll go.
I want to say there were 8 episodes. Yeah, I want to say there were 8. They're really good. It is. Again, it's the whole darkness, the whole dark humor, the whole slap you in the face kind of stuff. It's just ramped up that much more. And Carl Urban, who plays Butcher, is just Butcher is fantastic, and I can't remember the actor's name that plays Homelander. Oh my God, he's so dark, but he's perfect. I don't know who he is, but he's perfect. He does such a great job. I don't think they really have any bad casting in that, but it's just a great show. It's a great show. Yeah. So if they're looking for something that's,
I know one that Jason recommended, and I was really surprised at was Wayne. If you guys haven't seen Wayne, you should check that out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Wayne.
It's I don't know if it was originally a comic or not, but it's just this. It's kind of an ultra-violent coming of age show. This kid, this teenager. His superpower is getting beat up. That's kind of his superpower. Yeah. It's not a comic book show, but that's his superpower. And he and his girlfriend
very Deadpoolish
go down to very Deadpoolish. They go down to find his dead father's car, and down to Florida to get his dead father's car. And it's good. I would recommend it. Very good show. I'll tell you another one I saw just recently on Netflix. I'm not
real quick. Sorry, not to interrupt you, Gene, but
we got rated.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jimmy, for a raid of 200 people. Thank you.
Holy crap!
Gosh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Boom.
Well, for those that are sticking around and don't know anything about this show, welcome to the Crow's Nest, everybody. We're on Tuesdays at 4 Central Time. Jason and I hang out, and we have a guest. Today's guest is Gene Van Horn. We generally talk about a lot of things Reaper. Gene and Jason are staff sculptors for Reaper, or freelance staff sculptors, or primary sculptors, or whatever term you want to use. I do a little painting for them, and we just kind of hang out. We really tried to embrace the tagline that Reaper Live abandoned, gaming and geek culture. So we're trying to do that a little bit too. And you see a logo on the bottom, get on or get under the bus. I mean, we'll tend to be throwing people that we know and like underneath the bus as much as possible.
Right. Gently under the bus. Gently
under the bus.
Softest tires on any bus you'll ever go under.
Right. I have not.
Anyway, we got nice rain, so we better pull out the A material.
I know, A material. So, with all your research, Jason, since all those notes you had taken, what is your next excellent line of questions for Gene?
Well, I don't know, because none of these seem to have. I really was hoping to talk about the Jim Rose Circus sideshow, because I thought Gene was Human Tambourine. I could swear he was the Human Tambourine. I first met Gene at Gen Con when he was the staff sculptor for Black Orc Games. And I had done some work for Black Orc Games. And a story I've never told Gene is that later on we went to a party that Chris Fitzpatrick had thrown. And there were people out dancing. And I saw this guy that looked a little bit like this guy, Gene, I had just met. But he was wearing this goofy beret. And he was dancing like just some monkey dance out there on the floor. And I was making fun of him to Bobby. And I was saying, that can't be that same guy that we met earlier. And he's going, no, I don't think it is. And I'd look at him. I said, it could be, though. It really could be. And then Bobby's going, no, I don't think so. And finally, we went over and got a closer look at him. We realized it wasn't the Gene we had just met. And fairly soon after that, Gene became a sculptor at Reaper. And it was a very welcome addition. I was still pretty fresh as a sculptor when Gene came on at Reaper, and so I still had an awful lot to learn from a lot of different people. What was it like for you, Gene, showing up because you went to the Louisville, one of the Louisville ones, right? And what was it like for you walking into that room with just the stars and the firmament of sculpting?
Yeah, it was very intimidating. I mean, when you were talking about that Gen Con that we met, I had just started working for Black Orc Games, and I had, I had sculpted 10 figures, and I mean, we had actually met like on the on the one list sculpting group that they had
Sure.
back
Sure.
in the day. We had not physically met in person, but uh, it was very intimidating to meet all these people that you admired, that you looked up to in terms of their abilities and their their name in the industry, and you're this new kid on the block, and you're like, okay, I don't know if I have the abilities to hang with these people, but I will try to keep up as best I can. So, um, yeah, the first time I really met everybody was at Sandy's sculptor gathering that she had there at Gen
Right.
Con. And
Yeah.
that
Up in
was kind of
Milwaukee.
that was a big to do. Well, yeah, the, the, the first time I met everybody was in Indianapolis. The first year
Oh,
was in
okay.
Indy. Um, but that was still, I mean, it was very intimidating. I remember meeting Sandy for the first time, and I'm like, oh, I was literally shaking. I'm so glad to meet you, Miss Garrity. She's like, oh, call me Sandy. She was the greatest, nicest person. Everybody in this industry is super nice, but she was very welcoming and very, just very, very nice, and everybody was. And that's where I met Ron. And I had showed him what I was working on for Black Orc, and he said, okay, well, you know what? Give me a call in a couple weeks. And then that October was when they had that get together in Louisville at the Reaper,
Right. Right.
at the old Reaper facility in Louisville. And he had me come down and hang out with you guys, and I mean, it was a mind blowing experience to be able to sit with everybody for a week and do nothing but sculpt. That was amazing. And
Yeah, I think your first time down there was like my second time or third time. And I was still in shock that they kept having me back. I couldn't believe that they invited me back, after the whole debacle of me showing up with my terrible putty and tools at the first one. So, uh, you gave me, I think, at the first time I met you, I think you handed me a little envelope with what I originally thought was a Werner clock piece in it.
Oh,
and and it wasn't a Werner clock, because I couldn't figure out why you gave me a Werner clock miniature.
It was a copy.
Yeah,
so
it was Gene's copy of a Werner clock piece that he had done.
Yeah, it was Nerodel the Elf. You can find that piece on Reaper, and Werner Klock sculpted it. And when I was living in Minnesota, I was living in Minneapolis at the time, and Rick Jensen at Black Orc Games said, "Come on over to wherever it is in Wisconsin, Milwaukee." It wasn't Milwaukee; it was a little town, but anyway,
Yeah.
Milwaukee, where Black Orc was. Come on down, and I want you to, I want to talk to you. I want you to see the molding and the mastering of these miniatures and whatnot, because I didn't know anything about making miniatures for production. And he said, when you come, I want you to sculpt. Here's a picture of this Nerodel that was just sculpted for Reaper. Sculpt this. I want you to sculpt this for me and see how you do. And so I sculpted it, and I took it down there, and he cast it up, and he's like, here's some copies. You can do whatever you want with them. And I thought, oh, great. I'll just hand them out as samples to people, not realizing it probably
so
wasn't.
He made them for you, and you used them to get jobs with other people. That's a typical sculptor trick.
Yeah,
that works really well.
I was just handing them out, showing I never thought, oh, well, this is somebody else's work. I thought, this is what I could do. It wasn't, I wasn't trying to sell them or anything, but I gave one to Ron, and Ron was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why are you giving me one of my own minis?
What are you doing pirating my figure?
Well, that really wasn't that uncommon of a thing. There's been several companies back in the old days that would have you sculpt an existing miniature from their line to see what marks you could hit and what marks you
Yeah.
needed to improve. Hey, Michael, someone in chat would like to see a closer version of the pattern you're doing on the Fishman's vest.
Well, if it can be in focus, and for those that saw the show to begin with, we are OBSing through vMix, so that's kind of.
Can you turn it? Do you have the pattern going on the back?
No, I just have it going on here.
You should be able to zoom the camera in pretty close if you want to, Michael.
Yeah.
If you zoom the camera in.
I tried prior to. Let's see.
Oh, that's not bad. No, that looks great.
That's better.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that.
I can see that.
I hope that satisfies your question or your.
There we go.
So I'll show some freehanding stuff. So freehanding, this kind of thing is just little circles, little swirls, and it's as simple as I'm going to make. Where is it? There we go. I start off with making just a little circle like that and swirl, and then I'll connect another one on, and then I'll build them up a little bit, and then when I get them wide enough and thick enough, then I'll pop some little dots in them and put some lighter purples and whatnot in there. But I've been working on the buckle too, trying to do some in-mem on the buckle. I wanted to go back a little bit to Gene's pirating of Werner's miniature, and because we've talked about this before, and Gene and I, my first invitation to come to Reaper and hang out as everything grew and y'all had multiple years together, they finally invited painters, and I got invited to be one of the painters at one point. Gene and I was my roommate, so to go back to that starstruckness, not only was I starstruck walking in the room with all these famous sculptors and painters and everything, but then I had a room with one. And it was Gene, who's been my con husband ever since. I wanted to go back to
con married.
Con married, for better or for worse. But the interesting thing, and you told me this in the very beginning, because we'd have all these conversations, and you told me the story like from the very beginning of what you did, copy the Werner's piece, and it was neat to see that, because that's the advice I was given from the very beginning. If you wanted to get better painting, find some things that you like that were painted really well, and go buy that many if you can get a hold of it, and copy it, and try to do the best representation you can do. So I wanted to make sure that we captured that and pass that along to anybody that's interested watching the show. If you're looking to level up, you see something that you love, that you're like, I like what that person did on that, get a copy and try to paint, or get a miniature that at least is close to it or whatever, and copy it. That's the way you're going to try to make it. And then while you're doing that, figure it out, but put your own voice in it at the same time, which I wanted to tie back to you as well. And I always have said this to you, and said this when we had you on the show before. You can sculpt in so many different styles. Like I know you, so I know when you do a piece. Oh yeah, and I know Gene did that. But there are times that I don't necessarily know if I just glance at her. If I hadn't seen that you were working on it, sometimes I'm like, wow, who did that? Oh yeah, Gene did that. And I thought that was something that's more attuned to you, I think, more than anybody else. I mean, Jason, I know a Jason piece pretty quickly, but then again, I'll see Jason pieces. I'm like, yeah, Jason did that? That's not in Jason's typical style, but I've always attributed that a little bit more. Is that something that came to you naturally, or is this something that you worked on, or being a 2D artist and a graphic 2D artist that you are, at least have that background, and you having to shift and everything, did that translate into your sculpting that way? Does that make sense? That was a long-winded question too, by the way.
I'll try to answer it. For me, when I was learning to sculpt, I did exactly what you were saying. I tried to copy pieces. In fact, my very first piece, my very, very first figure, was a copy of a Bob Rodolphe figure, and I made the armature out of wire. Based on his figure, I built the figure based on his figure, and when I got to the very end, I dressed her differently. I gave her different weapons, but for all intents and purposes, I copied that figure, and I did that for all the figures I sculpted starting to learn, because I thought, if I want to do this professionally, they're going to give me art. They're going to say, I want you to sculpt this, and they're not going to say, just come up with something out of your head. Although that seems to be the case nowadays, but back then everybody was getting art. Here, sculpt this, sculpt that, and so I figured I needed to be able to hit those marks, and so that's why I did it that way, and I stuck with it. And anytime I wanted to learn how to sculpt something, I would find a figure that I like. If I was having trouble sculpting a cloak, or I was having trouble sculpting a weapon or a pouch or whatever, it didn't matter. I would find a figure that I really admired and liked, and then I would try to figure out how they actually sculpted that bit. And years later, after doing this over and over and over again, I've heard Bobby say this, I've heard other sculptors say this, that you find that figure, that piece you like, and just try to replicate it. And another way to think of it is, as an artist, and this isn't anything, sculpting, painting, drawing, dancing, whatever. First you imitate, then you emulate, and then you innovate. So you start by copying, and once you start developing your skill and your level of ability, then you start emulating. You actually start putting more of yourself in and putting your spin on that, and then finally, once you're able to emulate, then you start innovating and creating your own unique things that take you to the next level. And I think that's the process for any sort of creative endeavor. You have to start somewhere, and you have to start. So you might as well start building on, the giant shoulders of other people who've done it before you. Save yourself the grief.
And it may not be a complete linear process in those steps. You may go back and forth within those steps, and be patient and go, all right, I think I got this. I'm going to push it forward. And I've done that, and it's look like total crap. Then I've had to back up. I'm like, what steps am I missing? What little details am I missing? And then you can push it forward as well. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much
One
so.
of the things that Gene is known for, and I've experienced this myself, is he's an excellent teacher in terms of being able to relay technique, some things about design. I learned a little bit from him on green putty. I learned an awful lot from him on ZBrush. And when I talk to other people, when Gene's not in the room, because you don't want his head to get too big, but when I talk to other people about Gene,
you're making me blush.
Invariably, someone says, "Yeah, I took one of his classes," or I've corresponded with him, or whatever, and he's been so patient in helping me learn how to do a particular technique or jump into sculpting. I think that's really neat that you pay it forward like that.
Yep.
Well, I do that because it all goes back to that first meeting at the first sculptors gathering at Gen Con, and then the first time Ron brought me down to Reaper. Everybody was so welcoming and willing to show me their techniques. And at one point, while I was trying to get my feet under me as an artist, I was working at an art store here in Denver, and I would see lots and lots of traditional artists come in. And in traditional art, it seems like there's a lot of secretive, I'm not going to show you my technique. I'm doing it
jealously
this way.
Guarded.
Yeah, jealously guarded secrets. And only if you apprentice with those masters will they show you their secrets. And I always thought that was really strange, because, art, just because you show somebody a technique, it doesn't mean they're going to master it. It doesn't mean they're going to, take it and run with it. they're never going to do the same thing you can do with how you do it. They won't. They're a different person. They have different insights and they see things differently. So they can't replicate the way you do it, even if you show them step by step. So go ahead, share that knowledge. And when I finally made it into this group of people that was so welcoming and open with their techniques and everything, I was like, oh, this is nirvana. This is great. I love being here. And it's been a heck of a 20-year ride. So
yeah, that's the nice thing that Reaper's done, especially with the Reaper cons, and they offer classes and what have you. But we have the Artist Alley where people can go around and talk to folks. That's one thing that we've been kind of missing with the whole pandemic going on. But the virtual cons that Reaper did last summer, and then there's one coming up in March's timeframe. Is that right? March or April, or I don't remember the date.
Reaper Virtual
Expo. Virtual
Reaper Virtual Expo, and that's going to be a lot longer and more time on the air and doing things. It's been interesting to see even the explosion, even on YouTube and what have you, of all the various painting videos. And, it's a challenge sometimes because even as a painter, you've got to be able to, if you decided for this to be your living or not, make money, and everybody's got various Patreons and what have you. But it's still nice to see that there's a lot of the free giving out there as well of tips and tricks. And Jean's been really good about this because I've seen, like, Rainbow Sculptor is on. She's, you helped her through the whole beginning process, and Christine has credited you so many times in helping her along with her career, and I've heard that from numerous folks. It's good. It's fun to give back, and it makes you feel good too.
Yeah,
I always feel
it's
really helpful.
I mean, because it grows the hobby. A rising tide floats all boats. We're all gonna benefit from more and more people entering this hobby. And something else. I mean, I don't know if a lot of the viewers here know this. Probably most of them that are watching do. But that's how ReaperCon was started, was from them bringing just the artists down, just the sculptors and the painters. Reaper brought us down to get us to all level up and to share those techniques and tricks with each other. And we all had such a good time, and they thought, you know what, let's bring other people in and start doing classes. And now it's, they've got, how many thousands of people did they have at the last one? They sell out the convention center in Denton.
But
yeah. So I mean, and that just started from Reaper bringing 6 people down and saying, hey, let's hang out for a week and have fun and sculpt and paint. And I think it's really important in this industry, in a hobby, where you can do that. And that's why I think ReaperCon has such loyal fans, because once you go, you realize it's like a family. It's not just, you're not just going to a con to play games and whatever. You're going to hang out with a bunch of people you consider your secondary family, so it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. Family. It's a blast. Talking about when you worked in the art store you were talking about in Denver, I'm assuming that that's the same one. Michael and I went into a store in Denver. They had me down for a convention in Denver, and we walked into a store, and there was a little acrylic cube with a demonstration.
Yeah, I did that too. Yeah.
And this was many years after you had already signed on with Reaper and the whole thing.
Sure.
But many years afterwards, here's this demonstration figure that you had obviously done years before, with a little hand-lettered sign. If you want to learn how to sculpt like this, contact, and I won't give out your phone number because it's probably not the same. But it was funny. I showed it to Michael. I said, that's Gene. That's our Gene that did that.
Yeah.
It was just a very funny moment to see that. It was. I should have just asked for it, because it could have gone right into my Gene section of my museum along with the Werner clock piece.
It's probably still there. You could probably go back and ask for it.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
No.
Have you not been back to that place in a while?
It's been a long time since
What
I've been.
was it called? I can't remember.
Meiningers.
Meiningers.
They're
It's
it's a
great
big
art
art store. Yeah.
Yeah, it
it's
had
really
wonderful
good art
stuff. Didn't they have a giant train set up? Didn't we?
Oh
weren't we
no, that was
marveling?
Caboose
That was the other
Hobbies.
one.
That was
That was
Caboose.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Meiningers was more of a traditional art store. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That
that
was
was
Meiningers, which was
funny.
They claim they're the largest art store west of the Mississippi, and they've got thousands and thousands and thousands of different art supplies. So if you're ever in Denver, look them up.
Yep.
Well, that'd be interesting. I think we should do a tour because I know some pretty big art stores out here in Seattle and Portland. So we should.
We'll get a tape measure
footage.
out. Yeah, and we'll just start measuring the store and we'll
start
send you
measuring
the
art
specs.
stores.
Fact-finding mission for our loyal viewers.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Rhonda says, "How come when I came to Denver, you didn't take me to these cool places?"
Because it was snowing,
You want to tell her?
and we couldn't
Because
get
it was
around
snowing,
anywhere.
Rhonda, and they were worried
Yeah.
that someone from Canada would be intimidated by the snow.
Didn't we go to Rhonda? Didn't we go to Meiningers? I could swear I took Rhonda to Meiningers. Maybe not.
Maybe she forgot.
I don't remember. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I took Anne and Jen Haley and Izzy to Meiningers, but I could have sworn I took Rhonda too. Maybe not. So Rhonda, next time you come to Denver, we'll take you. Either Michael or myself, we'll take you. We'll go to Meiningers. And the Caboose Hobbies. They closed it and then they opened it back up again. So
did they?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine now, especially, a lot of people have found new passion in their hobbies lately.
Yeah.
With,
Well, Caboose, they lost their really cool old building, and they had to relocate.
They had to relocate. I don't know. Maybe COVID's wiped them out, but they were open prior to COVID.
We drove by there over the weekend, and they looked like they were still open. We didn't go in or anything, but they're still around. We are getting. I want to make sure I show something off. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow is the day. The what you ask? Day? The day.
There we go.
Puppies.
We're going to pick up Willow tomorrow. Willow is an English golden retriever. So we are so excited about that. Yep. We there's her sleeping. Oops. There's her sleeping. So super awesome.
Cute.
Yeah. So it's going to be puppy land here for the foreseeable future. So, yep.
Derek wanted to know: Are you doing two true metallic gold bronzes, Michael?
4.
I'm assuming your fish guy on his little buckle.
No, that's in. No, I'm doing all in. I don't. It's funny. I have done shaded metallics forever, and lately I've shifted over to just doing NMM more and more because I wanted to push myself there. I felt like I've done a lot with the shaded metallics, and it's fun, and I enjoy that. But I have maybe not developed my NMM as much as I should have. So I'm trying to push that a little bit more and get that to be a little bit better. So yeah.
What do you think makes a better box art piece?
It's a great question.
Well, that's why I'm here.
I do think, and you've heard this from a lot. NMM photographs really, really well. I think it actually photographs better than shaded metallics. Shaded metallics tends to, in a lot of ways, look a little grittier and atmospheric and probably maybe looks better in person or and larger scales. NMM does really well in smaller scales. There's a place for both, and that I'm not just and NMM has lately been a lot of people have been putting it on, doing it on big, huge busts and stuff too. So, a simple answer probably is it's probably better for photographing smaller pieces. But it just depends. It depends on the artist, depends on the piece, and depends on everything. So, yeah, I was just seeing if Derek commented again. But yeah, I've been trying to do that as well, and also I wanted to show off, and he's not quite done yet, but also part of that same level, right? Is the Scions, or Justin, correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong again. Scions. Scions, the elemental-ish folks. This is the Earth elemental one. So here's her so far. And she's pretty far along, but I still want to do some more tweaking of her as well. But I was kind of getting stuck and a little frustrated on her, so I wanted to at least start and figure out my process and what I wanted to do on him, on this guy. So yeah, I think
Great.
The NMM I've kind of worked on for the little belt buckle. What was the belt buckle, Jason? Is it a wolf head or is it
Well, to be quite honest,
it's a human tambourine.
It was something that Izzy had put on the art. I wasn't quite sure how to resolve it. It didn't make a lot of sense to me until I started seeing more of a tusked face of some kind, which it's an interesting thing because I was probably totally wrong, totally off base on that. But every once in a while, I'll get a piece of art, and either due to the reproduction of it, the scanning of it or whatever, it's not quite clear what it is, and you kind of have to vamp on it. So that's the story of the buckle. I wanted to make something cool, and I thought, well, that's kind of anachronistic, for basically a fish genie, and maybe he has picked it up in his travels somewhere. So that's why it's like that.
Oh, I got a question.
It's a wolf boar.
Yeah,
wolf,
it's a wolf
bear,
boar.
pig.
I got a question on the golden retriever, on the English golden retriever. So here's what we are told. It's totally off the normal topic, and hopefully I don't bore everybody, but the one person that asked. Here's what we were told. Golden retrievers came from Scotland initially, and it was a guy wanting to breed more of a hunting dog that was family friendly, the traits that you think of a golden retriever being, all goofy and fun with family. The term golden came, it's like kind of an English term when something is like perfect. Oh, that's golden. So the golden retriever initially wasn't ever gold. That wasn't why it was called a golden retriever. It wasn't gold. Then when it was brought over to the US, the breeder that we're getting this puppy from told me all this story, told Michelle all this story. So, grain of salt. And then I guess once the golden retrievers came over here, they were bred with maybe an Irish setter, or they were bred with another dog to get more of that color. Because you'll see American golden retrievers be more golden color or even red color or whatever. But this was an English cream, and we had two American golden retrievers before, Kaya and Zoe. We lost both of them to cancer. We had good runs with both of them. And knock on wood, the incident cancer rate is less with the English ones. But yeah, that's kind of what we want to do. And we wanted to stay in the golden retriever family, but there was no way we could ever replace Kai or Zoe. If you guys know anything about me and our history and everything, we've had a long history with Kai and Zoe, and Gene even sculpted a fun little Zoe tribute piece for me, along with the Clever Crow logo too. So there's that story. So we'll get back to the painting stuff. Was there anything we missed in chat?
Yeah, Christine said that apparently Gene has mentioned a couple times that he doesn't really see color as he's sculpting, which I don't usually either imagine too much color in there. So she was wondering how you feel when you see something of yours painted.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
the collaborations I get to do with all these talented painters. I mean, they bring it to life, you know. I mean, yeah, we sculpt the characters, but they really, put life into it. And it's a great collaboration. I'm always tickled pink when I see somebody has chosen one of my sculpts to paint, and has posted pictures of it or put it into a contest or whatever. I'm just always thrilled to see that.
yeah. Someone has taken the time, their
Yeah.
time, to put that paint on your figure and
Uh-huh.
put their spin on it. And it really does become, I think you wrote in chat, it becomes, it's sort of the end stage of the collaboration at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I've
Yeah.
never been disappointed seeing a figure of mine painted, because someone has taken that time. They like the figure well enough. It was useful enough to them for whatever reason they decided to paint it. I'm still surprised that people paint them sometimes, but
Me too. Well,
but it's very
as a
gratifying to see.
as a perfect example, Michael, he has painted so many mouselings for me. I can't tell you. I've got some examples here. I will show. This was his
Ah, that
zombie
was fun.
mouseling. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the zombie
Yeah,
mouselings, which are
very
they were
nice.
just for a little Reaper Con, and he painted that
Yeah,
and gave
artist
it to
con.
me. It's got the
Yeah.
Artist Con, yeah. Um, it's just so great. I never thought to have the mouselings on there and all the colors and everything. It's just fantastic. Or he did another one here. This Laura
Ah,
Croft
God, that was
mouseling. That's
forever
one of my
ago.
favorites. Yeah, that is
Really?
one of my favorites. Yeah. I love and my camera's not doing it justice, but I love um
I'll pull it back a little bit.
the
Yeah, there you go. That helps.
Yeah, it's a
I
little
Yeah.
love
better.
the
Yeah.
bass and just the animation he's put into it, and the way she's jumping down. It's amazing. And he asked me one time, he was doing this bust. He'll have to grab it. He did this bust, and he asked me to sculpt a little tankard for him because the bust
Ah,
was holding up a fist. And he wanted to convert it drinking beer, and so I sculpted a little tankard. And for a thank you, he took my two of my little uh, mouse mouselings that are drinking beer and put the tankard behind it, and he painted that for me. And it's just awesome. It's so cool, you know.
That's tremendous.
So yeah, it is. It's always fantastic to see. Here's another one. Now Michael didn't do this one. This was
that's cool.
Charles. I can't think of Charles' last name.
Charles
He's
X.
down in
Alexander.
Texas. Charles
Alexander?
Alexander. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
He took the little barbarian mouseling and he turned it into an Orcus conversion. So it's Morcus the mouse, the mouseling. And
That's
I just
awesome.
laughed.
That's such a great idea.
It is a
That's
great
cool.
idea. It really is.
Mhm.
And it's always really neat. I'm done showing my mouselings. It's always really neat to have people
that's
give you
amazing.
those things. It's like, wow, that is so cool.
Here's the bust
Oh yeah, there
that
you
we
go.
did,
That's
and
awesome.
you actually at the time, I think you actually resculpted a little bit of the hand for me too, so I could
Oh,
get the
okay.
mug in. And it's since this is even chipped. It's years ago
Yeah.
that we did
That's a
the
long
first
time
piece
ago.
and everything.
I have
Look at-
one of those
Still
mugs.
one of my
One of those
favorites.
tankards, I think,
Yeah,
on my
so
jean
it
shelf.
was a lot of fun on your jean shelf.
On my jean shelf, yeah. Valendar had a question about when we see a production piece that maybe had a couple flaws in it, and he used the example of the Pathfinder troll that leans a little bit to one side when it comes out in bones, and if we're ever disappointed with that. And I'll let you answer that, Gene. I have some thoughts on it, but
Are we
since you're the
disappointed
guest.
when we see production flaws in our work? Is
Yeah,
that what he
Yeah.
was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But the I guess my thought is it's disappointing, but then um, once again, it's a collaboration. So if somebody sees that and is unhappy with the leaning or the whatever flaw it is, they can always fix it and change it and make it better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's disappointing, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Sometimes the production side of things will change your figures, and you don't
Right.
really have a lot of control over that.
Well, the Pathfinder troll, for instance, made it into a different material, and that was early on in the use of that material. So I know I've been able to correct things in the next runs of things. Usually, they're pretty good at Reaper about catching something that has gone awry and giving us the opportunity to catch it. We actually had a meeting about this the other day about some changes that we're going to make in our sculpting to kind of accommodate some of the things with production. And that's just part of being a sculptor, as far as I'm concerned.
Mhm.
And like I said, Reaper's very good about going back and letting us adjust things on a miniature for the next run when they remake the mold or reprocess it in a different material. So some of those are evolutions. So very often, if there's a flaw the first time you see it or the second time, by the third or fourth time it comes out as a production piece, it'll be fixed.
And to build on that even a little farther, sometimes depending on the production, like if it's in metal, sometimes they can actually fix it. If it's it could be a casting issue where the casters are pouring the
Yeah.
metal too fast or too hot, or they're
Yeah.
pressing the molds together too much and getting too much compression on the
Yes.
mold. Those are all things they can fix in production.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
in
and they
the
do.
in
Good.
And they do, yeah. In the
Yeah.
bones material, you're kind of at this point you're left with what China gives you, but with the Bones USA coming, coming at some point, hopefully we'll be able to, or they will be able to fix any sort of production issues that
Yeah,
happen.
there's an opportunity to tweak it in-house.
Yeah.
And one of the things, I've mentioned this before, but sometimes an unspoken member of this collaboration stream that we experience are the mold makers and the production people. And
Mm-hmm.
Kevin and Daryl, for instance, have fixed innumerable problems with our miniatures.
that's
And
that's how they're such good sculptors, is they've fixed all our mistakes.
exactly, and they match our tool strokes. They do all sorts of wonderful magic to make these things come out, because no matter what we anticipate the way something's going to go in a mold or come out as a production piece, no matter what we anticipate, our job is to sculpt. And so sometimes we miss some of the more obvious uh, alignments and things that a mold maker would catch right away. And one of the reasons I'm very happy to work for Reaper, as a matter of fact, is because they're high level of production, and because you got Kevin and Daryl in there fixing a lot of problems before you guys ever see them.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
Gent, the master mold
And
maker.
Gent.
And again,
Don't
yeah,
forget Gent.
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
it is definitely a collaboration. It starts 90% of the time. It starts with Izzy, and works its way through us, through all the Daryl and Kevin and Yent, and then into your painter's hands. And there's a lot of different people working on a figure, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun to see the result.
Amber Dawn has some ideas for some new thief miniatures, some poses that they'd like to see. Um, isn't there still a long thread on minis we would like to see on the Reaper forums?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They're-
always a good
there is.
place. That's always a good place to post your suggestions, and the people at Reaper do read that very often. So we get a lot of ideas from reading that. So if you have an idea for a miniature, make sure and get it onto the Reaper forums. Throw it up into Discord in one of the miniature discussions going on there. type it into chat, and we'll see what we can do to pass it along. I agree with the more orangutans,
but definitely.
By the way, started out.
Yeah, we were going to talk about orangutans at some point. I mean, what's going on with orangutans, Jason?
Well, sometimes we have an opportunity to pitch some ideas, and I've pitched a couple of ideas involving some orangutans. So we'll see if they come to fruition in a future Bones release. But I mean, I like enjoy sculpting great apes. Yes, I wish I had it right here. I don't. It's in my cabinet. The orangutan emissary bust that you did was wonderful. That Michael Proctor painted for me.
Yeah, that was one of your one-off projects.
Yeah. Well, maybe not so much one-off, but that's something for another show.
That was a Wiki TV production, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was one of the first things I put out with a Weeby Tiki label.
And speaking of getting doing good 2D art, Jason does some fabulous 2D art as well. This is speaking of Weeby Tiki.
Yeah.
I hate you.
And
you hate me. You gave me the sticker.
I didn't say I hate you. I didn't say I hate you. I didn't say that at all.
Weeby Tiki. Gotta love it, man.
And if you're looking for a good T-shirt idea on TeePublic and Zazzle, there is a bunch of crow's nest stuff, but the Get On or Get Under graphic designed by Jason Weeby is out there too.
That is great.
We're still compiling.
It looks pretty good on a T-shirt or a mug.
Yeah, we're still compiling the dollars associated with the purchases of that. And as soon as we get up enough, we'll probably get some stickers together or something together. I ordered some stickers to kind of test up TeePublic sticker thing, and I don't know, they were good. But maybe we'll do something else, like some masks, or I don't know what. We'll figure out something that's non-size related, and we'll do some giveaways here in the near future. As soon as we get up enough money to really warrant.
You're one of those
everything that you guys buy, we put back into the fund. Mouse pads?
Booby mouse pads.
Yeah, you've seen those booby mouse pads? Yeah, the bottom of them are boobs, and you put your hand right in the middle so you don't get carpal tunnel.
And why would we want that for the Clever Crow? Why don't you do booby mouse?
I don't know. Yeah.
Geez, you just come in and roll a bowling ball like that into our nice family discussion?
Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow.
Man,
well, then all you got to do is watch season 2 of The Boys, and there's a lot of that going on. Yeah.
Anyway, so
Clever Crow cleavage. There you go.
Your hashtag freeze in. Everybody
all right, so
get your hashtag
hey Justin. Justin, can you throw up the Santa Mouselings one more time?
Yes, I can do that.
Come up with a different throw up.
No, throw up works. It's fine.
Throw up. Yeah, that makes sense, right? That's show lingo. The Mouselings were giving away 10 sets of these. Greg Zuniga already has been awarded 11 sets since its birthday today. So hashtag free. Please make sure you get that in there. We're giving these away. This is the painted version by Rhonda Bender. You will not receive a painted miniature. But if you want to contact Rhonda, I'm sure she'd be happy to paint them up for you.
That's the bus right there. You could hear that.
There's the bus.
There's the bus.
Sorry, Rhonda.
So yeah, well, let's. Do you want to? We're like 20 minutes after the hour, Justin. Do you want to do the winners? You want to send them to me and I'll read them off again, or?
Send them to Gene.
We could send them to Gene, actually. Let me draw them.
Or you could alternate. I'm sorry, Michael. It's your show. I just thought maybe Gene read them off.
It's our. How many times do I have to tell you? It's our show. Your show and my show.
Okay.
Rhonda says,
I thought it was only my show when things went bad. I thought that was why I was here. I thought. No.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, you're the ultimate victim of the bus. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, however, Justin's dealer's choice, however you want to do it, you can send it to Gene, and Gene can read off the names. He's probably better at reading than. usernames than I am.
All right, Gene. You
I just
check
thought
your
since they're
email a second.
mouselings and we have Gene here, how often do you get
Check my-
Gene
Yeah.
Check
be able
my
to talk
email.
about his
Okay.
Hey, Lord Dave. Let's see how many people we have on. We had a big raid earlier, which is awesome, but
We had
we're
like-
still hovering around
We
199
had 200
folks.
at one point.
Correct.
That's pretty good,
We're
guys.
still around 200. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And
they
Jason's
hit us
only
with
logged in 10
190,
times.
so-
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. We've only I haven't even used all my Patriot guys yet.
So we've only run off 100 or so people during the show.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
That's
Playing the Mud is
amazing.
rating with a party of 134. Look at that.
Oh, well, there you go.
Look at that. I didn't see that.
Playing the Mud?
It
Play in
just
the
happened.
mud up to
Thanks, Play in the
323. What is Play in the Mud? Justin, are you familiar?
Yes, Play in the Mud. I believe we have rated her multiple times.
Is it a
I
drywall
think
person?
Sculptor?
on Monday. No, I think she's a sculptor.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Justin, your
Drywall
email is
person.
slow.
Yeah. That's because
All
the
right.
formatting
Well-
is really not easy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna go and read this week's off. All right.
All right.
Sorry.
Sounds
sorry,
good.
guys.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
No worries.
So these are the 10 winners of the
Holiday.
Mouseling set.
Well, wait.
Holiday
no.
Mouseling. Santa and the helper. Ron's name is on the good list. I don't know how that happened. Britta's name is on the good list. I know how that happened, but Ron?
Rhonda's sucking up.
Go ahead. Yeah. Rhonda is
Yeah.
sucking up.
said-
All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Hold on. Gene said, "Wait. What's up, Gene?
Never mind. Nothing.
Never mind.
Forget
Okay.
it. Just
All right.
read the winners.
So our winners are, and I'll go ahead and announce them in chat too as this goes. Our winners are Valandar the Red, Bean Witch, Neo Show 143. So here, Chewy Boots,
Chewy boots.
Pendrake TG, Evil Halfling, Jagged Flow, Mobrock 0918, Dragon Pink 33, and Jedi Taz. Is that what that is?
Sure.
Sure, Jed.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Very
That's
good.
awesome.
Hate
And what do
those-
they do?
hate
What do
those
they do?
Mouselings, and I want to see them.
You want to type in?
Yep.
You want to type in "I won something?" ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Congrats to all the winners. That's super awesome. And you will get an
Everybody
unpainted
hit one,
Santa
type in,
Mouseling.
I won something ? And
Yep.
then that'll tag that you've seen it.
Yes, it should be a command. It'll give you a it'll give you a paragraph of instructions of what to do if your name was drawn. So
Only, but if someone else typed in "I want something" with a question mark, then
it
it
does
wouldn't-
not matter.
wouldn't do
Yeah,
it.
it's just meant
No,
to be
they match.
informational.
They match.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. That's cool.
All
That's
right.
even less work for you then, Justin. And how quickly can
Yeah.
they expect their miniatures in the mail from you?
That's a great question. That's based entirely
Soon.
upon Courtney and his processing because he does our inventory, so
Ah.
it only made sense for him to also do the giveaways, being that he kind of knows what we have, where it is, and
It's a-
et cetera, et
It's
cetera.
a pretty quick turnaround, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is,
Well,
as far
it's
as I
better
know.
than that Courtney is doing it as opposed to Justin.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Because
Be
you
thankful it's
kind of
not
dropped the
Ron.
ball. Oh, you'd never get it. Ever.
Poor Ron. Poor Ron. Everybody,
There's that.
everybody, take a minute and think good thoughts about Ron today. He's having some interesting issues. He was
He's
texting
having
me.
some
and-
difficulties.
Yeah, it
We all
seems
love
like
Ron.
the
Yeah, we do.
cheese is sliding off his biscuit. I think.
Uh-oh.
So to speak.
Poor Ron.
Somebody clip that. So the cheese is sliding off his biscuit.
Sorry.
Yeah, I like that. That's a new
That's a
new
great
show
clip.
tagline. Yeah, this cheese is sliding off the biscuit. Alrighty. So you want to get rid of the mouseling image?
I mean, I like it there though. In fact, I can put it in multiple places across the
Yeah.
screen.
Producer rebellion.
Up your ass.
What was that?
I don't know.
I don't know what that was. Gene said
I
something.
think
I
Gene
don't know
said
what he
it
said.
under his breath. Yeah.
I don't know what that
By
was.
the way,
I had never said
everybody,
anything like that.
that Reaper Errant we played last Friday, that was
Ah,
That was a lot
that
of
was
fun.
fun.
that was a
That was a
fantastic
lot of
time.
fun.
Go anybody
Yes.
that wants to see a good session of D&D, go back and look up Reaper Errant for last week.
So, Gene,
It
I
Yes,
believe
sir.
Gooseneck owes a debt of gratitude to Abran and to damn it, Jason,
Corncob.
Corncob
Corn Cob.
Yes.
for
Yes, he does.
saving your
I said that.
giblets.
I said
yeah.
that last week. Yeah, you guys
You were-
saved my butt. I come charging in and I chop that guy in half and then I run up the stairs and open the door and I get bedecked by a witch or something.
Yeah.
What was she? I don't know. I got
Was it the
bedazzled.
session
and,
before showed us the emergence of El Lagarto?
Yeah, no,
that
that's
was
two
Halloween.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Halloween session. If you look up the Halloween session, that's
No, the
when
Halloween
first
session we were
appearance of El
fighting the
Lagarto.
zombies. But
Yeah.
El Lagarto was the session before that when
Oh.
he
No,
But Gene showed up
That's
in
when you
costume as
suplexed
El
off the back.
Lagarto.
we all
Oh,
showed
that's
up
when
in
he
costume.
showed up.
For the Halloween. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yes.
Never mind. Yeah. So,
But yes,
anyways.
I was very grateful because Abran and Corncob killed the witch before I could turn on them and kill the whole party because she had beguiled me to start fighting my compatriots, and that would have not been good.
Yeah.
Well, the
They
shot
probably
the
would have
son looked on.
dogpiled me.
Yeah,
and-
you see your heavy hitter standing at the door with his mouth wide open and just staring into nothing. You go, I think it's probably time we intervene.
yeah.
So for those of you out there that don't know, we play D&D every other Friday. So we just played this last Friday. We won't play this week, but we'll play the following week. Friday nights on this channel.
With Frank at
5,
Neidhart.
6. Frank at Neidhart Gaming is our DM and does such a phenomenal job. Thanks, big thanks to Frank for always putting it on. And we will be on again not this Friday, but next Friday at 6 p.m. Central. For 2-3 hours plus, however it's rolling.
Sure.
Frank owes me some more murdering. We had a lot of talking in the first half of the show. If you really just focus on the murdering portion, second half of the show is where you go. Forward up. There's a lot of discussion about meat and Bob and Pugh talking about meat and stuff like that.
And goats.
Yawn. But yeah, and goats and what have you. But for murdering, let's go to the second half. So, Frank, if you're watching, but Frank does such a phenomenal job. Has these great sets, miniatures, all miniatures that we've all painted and you guys have sculpted and painted yourselves. Fantastic stuff. So yeah, and Rhonda is on as well, and Bobby Jackson and Jane Greenwald and stuff. So there's 6 of us in the party that Frank's leading around.
Rhonda would like it known that she dressed up for Thanksgiving as well.
She
so
did.
the
You did.
Thanksgiving
She did.
version
She had a
does
very
have
phallic
Rhonda.
turkey hat on.
Yeah.
Well,
Her turkey
I
went a
suppose-
little limp.
Oh boy.
Her turkey needed some Viagra.
I knew if I even broached that subject. Sorry, Rhonda.
We're going to try to violate the TOS.
Yeah, and for those that haven't seen, look at this great T-shirt that you can get on TeePublic. Crow's Nest with the excellent logo designed by Gene Van Horn himself. And there's also Get Under the Bus logos out there too to slap on whatever you want. Underwear.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they put it on underwear, but if they do, you can do it. I didn't put any limitations on what you could slap that art on.
Yep.
So slap away.
The next in-person ReaperCon, you'll want to make sure if you're going to show up to pack your Crow's Nest gear because, I haven't discussed this with Michael yet, but we actually may be planning something special for Crow's Nest at the next ReaperCon.
we will have, whenever that next one actually does happen, we will have some exclusive miniatures that will be prize support tied to your support of the show. How about that?
Yeah.
Maybe you need something for RVE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may even have
we may even have a special party for Crow's Nest. That's what I'm thinking.
We're going to be doing, we don't know what it is yet, but we're going to be doing something, working with our great
Maybe our own
producer,
drink.
Justin. Yeah.
Maybe our own drink.
On an RVE it tied related themed Crow's Nest show too. So that's in the works.
Rhonda says rent a party bus. Right now. I think Rhonda's on the right track.
An actual
Rhonda
bus?
says rent a party bus.
An actual party bus.
Well, there's no
Derek,
snow.
go to Derek.
Not usually any snow then, so she wouldn't mind driving.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Derek, go to TeePublic or to Zazzle, and that's where you can get on or get under the bus with your own T-shirt or your Crow's Nest logo shirt as well.
Crow's Nest, yeah. And we'll probably be
and
adding
again,
a couple things to that.
Yeah, totally. What was I going to say? I already mentioned it earlier, but I'll mention again for those that may have joined late. Whatever we make on these sites, we're going to take, because you get a few dollars per whatever, we're taking all that money and we are going to make up prize support. So we're going to give away on future shows. So know that whatever you get is going into a pool for other people to win things as well. So Jason and I aren't getting rich on any of this anytime soon.
No, you warned me that on the way in.
Oh, I get it. Underwear was where Derek was making the joke. So whatever underwear,
okay.
rim shot. Perfect. Yeah. Anyway, so we're at 1/2 the hour. Thanks everybody for watching. Really had a great time. Thanks, Gene, for jumping on and joining us again. It's always fun to have you on.
Glad to be here.
It's just
that was fun.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's really fun. Gene's a much better guy in person, I think.
And cue the music. Cue the free music that we can't get violations over. Copyright infringement music free. So let's slow jazz out.
Yep.
Thanks guys for coming out. Thanks guys. Give everyone a wave as we go out. We're
going
to be rating.
Everybody. Thanks, Justin.
We're going to be rating Ann, by the way.
You gave me the wrong notes for Gene.
Stick around and see what Ann's doing, guys.